Unit 7, page 59. Read. Exercise 3. Read and listen to the text.
Is there such a thing as a true friend? By Jason Powell. This is a topic that's close to my heart, but I didn't really know the answer to the question until about a year ago. First, let me tell you something. You will have around 350 friends in your lifetime, but only 6 of them will be your true friends. I was quite surprised when I read about this fact in a magazine survey the other day. I mean, if I look down the list of contacts on my mobile, most of the names in the list are friends' names. It's the same on anyone's phone. However, it made me stop and ask myself, who would I contact if I wanted a shoulder to cry on, or if I had a genuine emergency? There were actually only a few people on the list that I'd phone in a moment of crisis, and I suppose it's those people that I regard as my true friends. One person I'd definitely phone is Rob. I still remember when we first met last year. I was sauntering past the sports hall in the local leisure centre when I got a glimpse of a teenage boy in a wheelchair playing basketball. I stopped and watched for a while. He was about the same age as me, but I didn't think we'd have anything in common. After all, he was in a wheelchair. How wrong I was. A few days later, I was lifting weights next to the same boy in the gym, and we started chatting. We got on really well, and I suddenly realised that Rob's wheelchair didn't make him different from me at all. He was a typical teenager like me, and he was interested in doing the same sort of things as me. We've been really good friends ever since. The most important thing I learnt that day is never to judge someone by what they look like. People often treat Rob differently because of his wheelchair, but they shouldn't. They should take time to find out about the real person. One of the things I admire most about Rob is his unselfish nature. He's very good at listening, and he doesn't ask too many questions. People like that are very generous, especially these days when everyone is on the go and often people can't think beyond their own obligations and personal concerns. I'm sometimes quite selfish, so Rob is a really good example for me. So, my answer to the question, is there such a thing as a true friend, is a resounding yes. They are the people who are always there for you. They won't mind if you interrupt them in the middle of something important. They won't mind if you call them in the middle of the night because you need someone to talk to. Try it yourself next time. Otherwise, you won't know who your true friends are.
Unit 7, page 61. Grammar. Explore. Exercise 2. Listen and check.
Modern life is becoming faster and more hectic, but at the same time, people are becoming more isolated. These days, people in their 20s and 30s are finding it more difficult to socialise because they work harder and have more limited social circles. It's more common for people to work freelance, and people often live far away from their families. They can make friends at work, but for many, friendship societies are a more effective option because they allow them to meet a lot of people more quickly and in a less stressful environment. These groups organise social activities like group holidays, yoga classes, talks and demonstrations. Some societies even offer advice lines and financial help to members. You probably won't get on with everyone, but there will be someone you get on with the best and find you have the most in common with. It may be easier than it used to be to make friends with the help of these new groups. For many, it's the simplest and most sensible choice. These societies can also offer the least dangerous choice as you are in a registered group.
Unit 7, page 62. Listen. Exercises 1 and 3. Listen to 4 speakers talking about falling out with a friend. Ben.
In my district there is a group of older boys who always seem to be causing trouble. We usually avoid them as they are aggressive and often get in trouble with the police. I used to spend all my time with my friend Mark, so I didn't have anything to do with them. But one day I saw Mark talking to them and they were all looking at me. Suddenly I knew that our friendship was over. After that, he started spending all his time with the older boys and he never spoke to me again.
Paul.
Last year, I had to take a plane to Paris, so I had arranged for my friend Andy to take me to the airport. That morning, I got up early and waited for him to arrive. An hour later, I decided to call him because it was getting quite late. Eventually, he answered the phone, but he said he couldn't drop me off because he had a football match. In the end, I took a taxi, but I missed my flight anyway.
Elma.
2 years ago, I had a big fight with my best friend, Layla. It was over something very small. I can't even remember what we disagreed about. Anyway, we never made up, and I really regret that now. One day when I got to school, all the girls were smiling and waving to Layla. Later I found out that Layla was moving to a different city, but we weren't on speaking terms, so she hadn't told me. Layla and her family left and I never saw her again. Next time I fall out with someone, I will definitely make more effort to restore the friendship.
Kate.
When I was younger, I had a good friend at school called Jessica. We got on really well and we used to hang out together after school and at weekends. But the moment we left school, we suddenly stopped seeing each other. At first, I tried calling her, but she was always out and she never returned my calls. After a few weeks, I went round to her house, but she said she was busy. Finally, we lost touch completely.
Unit 7, page 63. Grammar. Explore. Exercise 1. Listen to the conversation between a brother and a sister.
I wish I could afford a holiday this year. These beaches look amazing.
Yes. If only you had £3,000, then I'd be able to come with you.
If I was rich, I'd spend every winter on a tropical island.
Really? I'd rather go skiing. Lying on a beach is boring.
Max, it wouldn't be boring if you were with me. We should be more open-minded sometimes.
Well, anyway, you can't afford it. If you didn't buy so many clothes, you'd have more money for holidays.
But I like clothes. Would you rather I wore a tracksuit all the time like you?
What's wrong with my tracksuits?
Unit 7, page 65. Language skills. Exercise 1. Listen and check.
Look at all those cars. I hate it here. I wish I lived in the country.
I don't know why. You'd have to travel much further to go to school.
Yes, but people drive more slowly in the country and life is more relaxing.
But it would be more difficult to find a good job.
But you wouldn't need to earn so much money. Life is less expensive in a village.
That depends. Personally, I'd rather live in a town.
Yes, that would be better than living in a big city. For me, the most stressful moment of every day is crossing the roads to get to school. If only our school was next to my house.
The location of our school is the least important thing in my life. I'm more worried about the exam tomorrow. I think the best thing we can do is start studying.
Everyday English 7. Teacher's Book, page 114. Making Conversations. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the dialogue.
Excuse me, you're Alison Wilson's sister, aren't you?
Yes, I am. My name's Tanya.
Pleased to meet you, Tanya. I'm Beth.
Hi, Beth. How do you know Alison?
We sometimes play volleyball together.
Oh, right. Are you really into sport?
Yes, I am. What about you? Have you got any hobbies?
Not really. I like watching TV and DVDs.
What kind of films do you like?
Anything, really. Comedies, thrillers, adventure films.
I like films too. There are some good films on at the cinema now, aren't there?
Yes, I think so.
Maybe we could all go to the cinema sometime.
Yes, good idea.
Anyway, I better get back to my friends. Nice talking to you.
And you. See you around.
Everyday English 7. Teacher's Book, page 114. Making Conversations. Exercises 4 and 5. Listen to 2 dialogues. Dialogue 1.
Here's your coffee.
Thanks. We've met somewhere before, haven't we?
I'm not sure. In this cafe?
No, this is the first time I've been in here. Oh, I know. Do you go to a basketball class on Saturdays?
Yes, I do. How do you know?
Because I go to a martial arts class at the same place. You're always leaving as I arrive.
Yes! Now that you mention it, your face is familiar. What's your name?
Ben.
I'm Joe. Nice to meet you.
And you.
So, what else do you like doing at weekends?
I'm really into running at the moment.
Really? So am I.
Hey, do you want to go for a run with me one day?
I'd love to. Why don't I give you my mobile number? You can call me. I'll write it down for you.
Great. I'll call you soon.
I hope so. Anyway, it's time I got back to work.
Dialogue 2.
Hi, I'm Sally.
My name's Debbie.
You were at the summer festival last week, weren't you?
Yes, I was. What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay.
Me too.
There are a lot of events happening this summer.
I know. I sing with my school choir. We're performing at the town hall next month.
Really? That's great.
Yes, it is.
So, tell me more about your choir.
We do lots of traditional songs and a few modern ones.
Really? I'm not really into traditional music. I like really modern stuff.
Do you? Anyway, I'd better get back to my friends.
Well, I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yes, I'm sure.